In this video, I'm going to share with you how to protect your energy from energy vampires. Well, basically, energy vampires are those people who have this manipulative mindset that they think by pulling you down, they will feel uplifted. You feel drained when you are interacting with them. You might feel pain in different parts of your body. You feel mentally, emotionally, and physically exhausted after hanging out with these kinds of people. But the truth about energy vampires is that they had many traumas in their childhood, and now they want to be seen, understood, and heard, but they don't know how to express themselves. They are suffering inside themselves and they want other people to feel as bad as they do. Well, the best thing to do when you're dealing with energy vampires is to just get distance from them. They're going to drain your energy, they're going to lower your vibration and affect your emotional state. So the best thing to do is to avoid them, cut them out of your life completely. But that's not always the case. Sometimes there are close people to you. Sometimes you have to see them every day for some reasons and you cannot avoid them. This is something that I have dealt with a lot throughout my life. I was living with a person like that. And they have the subconscious belief that so when people don't understand them, when people don't see them and hear them, if they make other people feel the way they do, maybe people can relate to them more. It all comes from their childhood traumas. I had to deal with it. I had this kind of person. I was living with this kind of person for a long time, and it was really hard for me because I used to do all these spiritual practices, feel so elevated, feel so uplifted. I was in my Zen mode and just I would interact with this person for a moment and just I would be all chaotic. My energy would be all incoherent and I feel so drained. But what I learned was that if you have more compassion towards them, if you try to see them more as this wounded child rather than a vampire, they're going to show up differently for you. When you start to show up for them in a different way, their behavior changes just instantaneously, and it is really uncanny how the way you show up, the way you are feeling, the way you are in your own frame can change other people's behavior. So if you cultivate this awareness inside you that they're just so hurt and they just want to be seen and heard and understood, and rather than seeing them as vampires, as someone who wants to steal your energy and feed off your energy, see them as a wounded child and have more love and compassion towards them. Not only they cannot feed off your energy anymore, but also they are going to act differently. And these kinds of people have really low vibration. They're having these dense energies in their energetic field. But when you are in your own frame, when you keep your vibration elevated and trying to set that healing space for them, you're going to uplift them. And they can only feed off your energy when they are affecting your emotional state. If you're not getting upset or angry or whatever because of their actions, because of their behavior, they cannot feed off your energy. You have this frame. You're in your own frame. You're in control of your internal state no matter what. And you're showing up for them with compassion and love rather than just, oh, I need to protect myself, I need to protect my energy, I need to just, I don't know, push them away or whatever. If you show up like that, not only you wouldn't really be affected by their low vibration, but also you're going to help them in a way, and they're going to act differently around you. And also, try to become more aware when you're being triggered by them. In that moment, I'm not suggesting to suppress your emotions, but when you're interacting with them and you see that they are triggering some sort of like lower vibrational emotions inside you, try to stay aware. See how you're feeling in that moment. The more you become aware of your feelings and your thoughts when you're interacting with them, when you're dealing with them, the less they are going to affect you, the less they are going to feed off your energy. So two things that you gotta be aware of, you gotta cultivate, you gotta practice to be able to deal and protect yourself from these energy vampires is first have more compassion and love towards them. Know that they are the way they are because of their trauma. I know it's not an excuse to say that people are allowed to behave however they want because they are traumatized. But you gotta become aware that everybody's doing their best based on the level of consciousness they're at. And just having more compassion and love for them and trying to be more understanding of them, you can not only help them in a way, but also keep your energy, keep your vibration elevated, and not allowing them to make you upset or not allowing them to drain you. And the second thing is to become aware how you are feeling when you're interacting with them. Just a moment of awareness can change everything. I used to have one of these people in my life, and I would feel absolutely exhausted, drained, and there was this whole chaos in my head every time that I would interact with this person, every time that I would have a conversation with this person. I would feel so drained and exhausted. I would literally feel pain in my neck and in my shoulders. It's a way that your body is signaling you and telling you that you're being affected by denser energies. I would know that my energy is so incoherent and just out of balance. But let the triggers be the guide. But then I decided to have more compassion for him. And I was thinking by myself, the way you treat other people is the way you treat yourself. And if he's treating me this way, imagine what's going on inside him. And I felt so bad for him. I would feel so much compassion for him that, oh my God, I wish he would feel better. If he's making me feel the same, if he's trying to pulling me down and it's the way he's treating me, imagine how he's treating himself. And the next time I saw him, I was more compassionate and more understanding, and instead of seeing him as this vampire who wants my energy, who wants to just upset me, drain me or whatever, see him more as this person who is doing his best based on what he has, based on the level of consciousness he's at, and his behavior changed completely. He wouldn't really feed off my energy anymore, and I don't know, the whole dynamic of my relationship with this person changed completely because I showed up differently for this person. And sometimes you cannot really cut people out of your life. If you're in a relationship with an energy vampire, if you have a friend like that, I highly recommend to just cut them out of your life completely. But sometimes You can't. Sometimes you're working with them, sometimes they're your family members. I don't know, for whatever reason, you cannot cut them out of your life, but if you show up in a different way, they are going to show up in a different way.